Peak Wealth Management proudly presents Finding True Wealth with certified financial planner Nick Hopwood and accredited investment fiduciary Jim Pilot. Nick and Jim believe by making simple, good financial decisions, you can retire with confidence. And now let's turn it over to your hosts, Nick and Jim.
Welcome everyone to episode 175 of the Trust the Plan podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Preston.
And Jim's out of the picture. He's right there though. Don't worry. He's fine. But today we brought Preston in because he has some exciting news to share. But before we get into that, now that spring is here, we are doing a little maintenance in the front yard here.
Yeah.
With our big raging summer parties, we've trampled the grass. And so it's time to plant some new seed, right?
Yeah, make it look nice.
Yeah. I don't like dirt yards, right? You know, I want it to be a lush lawn.
Right.
Right. So, Preston, what's the big news?
The big news is I'm officially a CFP, which is Certified Financial Planner.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, so Certified Financial Planner, it's we're at the gold standard, right?
Yep.
So once you have that, there's really nothing else. You can always continue sharpening the saw and such, but that is widely regarded as the best designation in our industry, right?
Right. Yeah, that's the one that everyone's chasing after.
Yeah. So what was your experience like over the past few years with college and CFP training and the actual test? And you know, if we look back a couple of years, it seems to me like that test was a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, so there's a few different components to becoming a CFP. So one is, of course, education. You've got to get a degree or at least complete enough coursework in financial planning and specifically a program approved by the board. So I went to Central Michigan University and they have a program where I could get my bachelor's degree and at the same time have completed the board's requirements. So that's the route I went. So when I graduated from the 4-year university, I had completed the education part. And then the next part is the exam, which, as you and Jim both know, is a bear. So studied for many months, a lot of hours every week studying for the exam, and I did it immediately after college. I graduated in May 2021, started studying July, took the exam in November, and passed. So November 2021, I passed the exam and completed that part of it. And then the third part is experience. So I passed the exam in November 2021, but I was still a year and a half away from completing the experience requirement. So yeah, the last year and a half has been completing the experience, which means being in front of clients and making presentations and working in the industry and really learning everything I can.
So back when I took it was like 2006. And by the way, back then they only offered it twice a year, like in the spring and the fall. And in the fall, it was always the same exact day of the Michigan-Ohio State game, which really frustrated me, okay? Because I got to the spring and I'm like feeling not ready, but not wanting to delay it for a whole year. So I had to bite the bullet and missed the Ohio State game. It was the 2005 game, actually, the Troy Smith game at the Big House. Just a devastating loss, and maybe it was good that I wasn't there.
Probably better you didn't see it.
Yeah, we had a nice lead in the fourth quarter and blew it. He ended up winning the Heisman Trophy that year. But anyway, it was a 2-day test. So it was like, I think it was Friday, Saturday, and it was all multiple choice, and all 4 ABCD, right? All 4 answers were right answers. It was like, which one is the most right?
Right.
It was by far the hardest test I've ever taken in my life. So how did you feel about the exam itself?
Yeah, I completely agree with what you said. It was, every question had 4 answer choices that I could pick from, and all 4 were like, yeah, that's a good recommendation. So which one is the most good or best recommendation?
Yeah. It's like, what should you do? A, contribute to a 401. B, contribute to an IRA. C, contribute to a Roth IRA. D, contribute to an HSA. Yes is the answer, right? But that's not a choice.
Right.
So how do you know what's the right one? It's very difficult.
Yeah. and that's where the studying plays in. We know that all of them are good choices, but which one is the best choice?
And you have to get your mind inside the board, right? What are they looking for?
Right.
Yeah.
And my exam experience, it was only a one-day exam. I assume it's still a one-day exam. But mine was, you sit for 3 hours and then you get a 15-minute break and then you go back in for another 3. So It's just one really long day.
Yeah, brutal. And so back in the day, we didn't have universities that offered the CFP or a financial planning major. So you'd have to get your 4-year degree and then go contract with like American College or the College for Financial Planning. And those are the two big ones back then. But now, and so you would already have your experience requirement met, right? So you never had, once you passed the test, that was it, you're done. So it was unique now with younger people having the 4-year degree as a financial planning degree, then taking the test and having to wait.
Right. Yeah, very unique. And there's still not a ton of colleges that offer it, but many, many more are offering it. So.
Yeah, in Michigan, I think there's only a handful, like Central, Michigan State, maybe Oakland.
Yeah, Central and Oakland, I know for sure. Michigan State and Grand Valley both, I believe, they call it master's programs. So it's not technically your degree, but you can complete it while you're there.
I've also read about PhD programs in financial planning.
Yeah, there's a big one at Kansas State I've read about.
So you pay $20,000 and you can become Dr. Gee.
Right. Yeah.
You can go from PG to DG.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, we're really proud of you for the CFP. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And, what's next?
Not sure.
Okay, stay tuned. That's a big tease. Big tease for next week, right?
Right, yeah.
All right, I have some ideas for you.
Okay.
All right. All right, until next time, hey, drop Preston a line. What is it, preston@peakwm.com?
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, drop him a line of congratulations.
Yeah.
Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
You've been listening to certified financial planner Nick Hopwood and accredited investment fiduciary Jim Pilot on the Finding True Wealth podcast, sponsored by Peak Wealth Management. You can learn more about Peak Wealth Management by visiting peakwm.com or follow on Twitter at nhopwood1.